Hi.
Hi guys, how's everyone doing? Karibuni, welcome to our live today.
Yeah, welcome. I'm Nicole Hanselman, and I'm here with my beautiful sweetheart.
Oh, I'm Yvette, and the co-host. Always happy to be here to share with you guys, see you guys. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. So today we are still tackling life purpose, especially in regards to personal development. That is the topic for today, and we've got our guest who is ready, Melyn. Oh, I love this girl. We've had her before. You remember?
Yes, yeah, she came and she's the IT lady and she taught us so much about, pursuing your dreams. Yeah,
Yeah.
and being a woman in a male-dominated field, I mean, that was so inspiring.
It was so nice, yeah. So we have a
Mm.
today again on life purpose, personal development. That will be the topic for today. And we like to put her on the spot. We'll make her sing at the end of that. That's a treat from us. We'll force it out of her throat if we have to. She's got to sing for us. So what we normally do is that we come on, then we tag our friends so that they miss out. They don't miss out. It's so easy to miss out. Sometimes you know there's a live coming on, but it just slips your mind. So go on and tag your friends. And while you do that, say hello to us. We want to know where you're joining us from. Let's get tagging. In fact,
Mm.
recap from last
Tell
time, maybe.
me. So, Nicole, just to recap on what we did last time on Monday, Ikigai. I'm sure that's a new word for most of us. Ikigai, it is that center where your passions, um, what you're good at, something that the world needs, that center where they all converge. At that point, you find your purpose in life. I really liked that explanation. And it's so straightforward. If I love writing, for example, I'm so good at it, and someone's story needs to be told, and it gives me joy, fulfillment, happiness to do just that. Then there it is. That's my purpose, to share people's stories with the world. That's
Yeah,
it's a good place to be at.
you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm trying to tag. Okay. I'm trying to tag my friends so that they don't miss
Mhm.
out.
Okay,
Okay.
let's get
Yeah,
tagging. Let's get
we did talk
tagging.
about finding purpose last time, and today we're going to try and go deeper. For those who missed out, we did have a drawing. I'll use the old drawing. We drew how to find it. That was my work from last time. It's terrible, isn't
Yes.
it? We did have a
Mhm.
drawing, and we said we have a large circle there, which on the large circle is where we write our passions and stuff, right? So you write what motivates you, all those things go on that large circle. And then you'll have a medium one. And my mirror reflection is bad. The medium one, that's why you're going to write your talents, the things that you're predisposed to do genetically and stuff. You know what other people are saying, oh, you're talented in that. That is where that goes, the gifts. And then you have a smaller circle where we said that's why you write what humanity needs. Yeah. So where those three are met, that is your ikigai. Where all those
Mhm.
three needs, that's why we say that's your ikigai. That's what will get you waking up every morning and feeling healthier and happier. You. But let's find out what
Mhm.
Meg is going to teach us today and tell us about that. We've got a few questions we're gonna ask us. So say hi when you join in. Say hi. Cool, cool, cool. Yvette, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah, okay. So we're gonna invite our guest on Melyn to join us and teach us so much. Everything she knows, she's gonna share with us today. She's an amazing lady. We'll let her introduce herself and tell us everything about herself. Drum roll. Welcome. Help me to welcome Melyn, everybody.
Karibu Melyn.
Asante sana. Okay, so my name is Melyn Obach. It's spelled Melyn. Most of the time I've been baptized so many names. Marlin, Marilyn. But it's Melyn. Yeah, so yeah, I'm a woman in tech, a mother of one beautiful girl. She's Myra. Um, yeah, and I'm excited to be here and share a lot more that is there to be shared with with the group that is gathered here today. Asante sana.
Karibu, karibu. You're in IT, my
Karibu
darling.
Melyn.
Yes, IT. It's like Yvette said, it's fully men dominated. I've been there for like 17 years, work experience. It's
Mm.
so much fun working with men, to believe you me. Every other time they look at you like that one sister. Anything that happens, everybody's so concerned, and so it's so much fun. And like last time, I said I'd really, really encourage so many people to join this industry because most of the time, we as women, we feel that we are not capable, we do not fit. But ideally, this front is open for everyone. There's a Swahili saying that says, akili ni nywele, kila mtu ako na zake. Yes, yes, yes. And so, as women, we should not always undermine yourself that you cannot do. What it is right now is that what a woman can do, a man can do. Oh, sorry, the other way around. What a man can do, a woman.
What
Yes,
a man can do, a
yes,
woman can do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we have so much to explore when it comes to women. Many years we've been made to believe that we are not worth it. We've been downgraded. We've been, we've been told that we are not capable. But I think there is a new world that is uprising and saying, we are able to do this. Yeah. And so that
Mm.
slogan always is something that I really like, that everything that he can do because he has the hair, the mind, the soul, the same thing that I also have as a human being. God did not say that one person is more superior than the other. God created us to be equal and to serve him and to take care of the natural resources and everything. So in God's eye, we are all equal. And in that sense, then we means we can always do anything that we feel and we believe that we can do.
Nice, nice. So all these negative things we believe are just man-made, divide and rule.
Yeah, it's just man-made. I don't know. I think sometimes people actually fear women because they know for sure that if a woman was made to lead, they'll do a much better job. So what people do, they'll try and undermine you. Anytime, look at even the societies. Anytime you're undermined is when you have the capabilities of doing that. We
Correct,
Separated.
Yes, we are blessed in
correct.
Africa. We're seeing so many African women are coming up recently in Tanzania, and they're doing pretty good job. If we are managers of home, if we are managers of a home, we can wake up in the morning, organize ourselves, organize our children, organize our families. What else can we not do? Because
Mm.
if you let these people stay back at home, I'm sure they'll not do as much as what you do as a woman. So obviously, we have to believe as women that we are better, we are stronger, we have the same capabilities, and we can do it even better because when we put our mind and soul in it, great things happen.
I couldn't agree more. It's very true. If you're not a threat to anybody, nobody will notice you, whether you're a child, whether you're a woman, whether you're a man. But when you start coming out and like showing what you can do, then you are a threat. And,
Yeah.
anybody who feels threatened by you will find reasons to put you down. You know?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally
And
agree.
also, we're living in pretty good times. We're living in times where, as women, our voices are being heard. We're living in times where we are being encouraged to do much more than what our predecessors did. We're living in times where all these opportunities are there for us. So yes, so let's keep pushing other women to also go for them, to also get hold of these opportunities and just go for their dreams. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm.
Welcome, everybody who's just joining us. Thank you for tuning in. Tell me who you are, say hello, and where you're joining from. Okay, so Melyn, today we are talking about life purpose.
Mhm.
Okay, and I think I had some questions prepared for you. So, what is life purpose anyway?
Okay, for me, life purpose, I'll just give it a bare, simple definition. Purpose is where we find a meaning, you know, what it is that you find a meaning in your life, yeah, what we want to do and be able to contribute, you know. A true purpose is recognizing your own gifts and using them to contribute to the world, yeah. What it is that you have special that you feel you can contribute to the world. It could be a gift of playing beautiful music for others to enjoy, yeah, helping friends to solve problems, or simply bringing more joy into lives of those who are around you. That is simply the definition I'll give. That it's simply giving a meaning to your life. Yeah, we live once, and if you choose to be happy, it means that's the meaning that you've given to your life, right? So that's for me the meaning of purpose, where we find the meaning of our lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that explanation, Melyn. And I also like in particular that you've said that we have gifts, yeah, and using these
Yeah.
gifts to give meaning to our lives. Yeah, and I
Mhm.
believe that each and every person that was created with a gift, a special gift, to use for the
Absolutely.
benefit of humanity. That's
Yeah.
really profound, Melvin. Melvin, let me just ask, yeah, why, in your opinion, do you think that we need to find our life purpose?
Okay. So it is very important why we find our life purpose. Basically, because first of all, we have to identify ourselves. What is our self-identity? Who am I as Melyn? I am as Melyn. I'll say I'm a woman in IT. Is that really my purpose? Probably yes, probably not. But most importantly, is first we have to assess ourselves and identify and self-identify who we really are. Yeah, probably I'm a musician, probably I'm an actor, and many other talents that people and gifts that people have. Then after that, you also have to realize, where is the source of my purpose? Yeah, is it that maybe I feel there's some injustices somewhere that need to be corrected, that I need to stand up and say this is injustice and be a politician or be a humanitarian and things like that. So the inner source is where the purpose really starts, because we have to really identify what it is that you feel that is wrong in the society that we need to correct. What is it that I have as a gift or talent that I need to share with the world? Yeah. And then also we have to look at the potential. Do I really have the potential to actualize my purpose? Yeah. Because some people may wish to be musician, but really they don't have the potential of being a musician. Yeah. Some people may want to be a superstar or a footballer, but you really have the potential to be that person. So the potential, you have to realize what exactly is my potential in this purpose that I think I should be serving people to. Then also what you have to look at is really your destiny. Where do you want to take this purpose of your life to? You know, if you're a musician, do you want to be the best that you can be? If you're an athletic, do you want to be the best athletic that you can be? Do you want to break the world record and things like that? Yeah. And sometimes purpose could also be a vocation. Sometimes it's spiritual. You want to be a pastor, you want to be
Yeah.
a pastor, lead a flock of people into righteousness. You want to be an imam, So it's first identifying and finding out exactly what it is that you want, what it is that the source, the potential, and where you want to take this purpose with you, which journey you want to take this purpose with. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you decided that now you want to find a life purpose, because we've noticed that you feel more fulfilled, you are healthier, you're happier. When we've seen anybody who's following the purpose, living the best life possible. If somebody
Mm,
decided that in their 40s or whatever, and they're in the middle of like an IT profession like yours, and they discovered,
mhm,
you know what, singing is the only thing that I want to do. And I've looked
mhm,
at my passions, I've looked at that, I've looked at that. The world actually needs me. This is what
mm.
I'm bringing that's different in the world. I really want to follow this. Do you ditch all that IT or do you go to that singing? What do you do? Because you
Okay.
want to
So
make
the
a
good
living too. You want to, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the good thing about organizations is that they're different departments that you can always move around with, and I'll
Mm,
get that with my own personal experience. Is that when I started as a support engineer, and you see, it was about going below the desk, supporting people, customer service, receiving those
mm.
bad calls, you know. And at some
Yeah.
point, I realized,
All the
yeah,
dirty girls on the
yes, and the industry is very dynamic. So every other time, there's something new that is changing. If you realize where we started from and where
Yeah.
we are right now, there's a milestone that have been made. Yeah, and sometimes and even in terms of finance progress, you ask yourself, do I want to be a support engineer throughout my life? No,
Mhm.
because everyone wants to grow, right? So at some point in my life, I was like, no, this is not what I want to do for the next 30 years or 40 years, right?
Mm,
But what does it mean? What does it mean that I should do to be able to empower myself, develop myself to being a better person and doing something else? Because this is the industry I've chosen. I cannot ignore the 4 years or 5 years that I was in university. Time
mm,
is a very important resource that we cannot be wasted. Once
Mhm.
wasted, you cannot recover it. Yeah. But
mm,
no, what I did was that I had to go back. I had to go back to school because before IT, I also had a passion in finance, right? So, and even when I was doing the support, sometimes I would assist with financial aid here and there, the financial department. I would help them do reports and all that. Then I realized, okay, so I actually can do finance. And so one time I remember when I was really craving for growth. I went to my manager and I told him that I really want this promotion. And if it doesn't come, then I'd rather go back to college and look for something else to do. And he told me the only position that is available right now is for credit control. Will you take it? And of course, Mimi Ninani, I jumped into it. I said, yes, I can do it. If they can do it, I can as well do it. And I was in the department where you have people who've done degree in accounts, certifications. And I said, you know what? If they learned all that, I can as well just learn as long as I put my heart and mind in it. So yeah, then I changed from technical to accounts, and guess what? In 1 year, I was the best credit controller in that in that in
Wow.
that in that. Yeah,
Wow.
nice.
and
Nice.
yes, and even to
Nice.
switch, within that year, I was given a promotion to Nairobi, and my manager was like, "No, you cannot go to Nairobi. I'll match up your salary. You remain in Mombasa." So, just to answer your question, is that yes, sometimes you might go to an industry and you're not very sure what the outcome will be. Remember, in our growth, most of the time is that when we're children, it's our parents taking care of us. But after high school and you're going to university, it's you taking care of yourself. So at that particular time, it's self-discovery. Yeah, you're not very sure. Of course, people tell you be a doctor because the norm is that doctor earns a lot of money. Be a
Mm.
lawyer because lawyers do earn a lot of money and such kind of things. So you're in a self-discovery, and it really calls for ambitious people to taking um, go taking departments or other courses that are very challenging that nobody has ever heard of sometimes, or people tell you you're a woman, why are you doing this? You really have to be this ambitious person and a risk taker. And so, yeah, you've taken your 4 years, 5 years studying this course. Then you are there in an organization realizing, maybe it's not the right thing that I've chosen. What I'll tell to your audience today is that sometimes you don't have to stick there. The organization gives us plenty of opportunities, right? There are plenty of opportunities you could maybe in future consider going into accounts if you don't like being technical or engineer. You can still bear the name because as much as you study for it, you're still an engineer, yeah? But you can now go to technical sales, which is what I'm currently doing. I'm actually doing
Yeah.
technical skills, yeah, because I need to have the know-how of the product. I need to have the know-how of technical, how the product works technically. And so because I have that, I can propose a solution to organization and say, hey, I know you have this problem, and the only way we can solve this problem is by giving you this solution to solve your problems. And so when the solution is working and customer is happy, you get referrals, you get you're able to cross-sell, you're able to upsell. Yeah, so as I've mentioned, my example is that I started as IT, as an engineer, but then across the way, I realized there's so many exciting things that came across my path. And so I chose to take the exciting. And while you're working, you're motivated with money, with growth, career growth. You cannot
Yeah.
be doing the not be doing the same thing, the same customers. So what I do currently is very exciting, still within the same industry, still the same things that I
Yeah.
learned back in college or university, still the same knowledge that I acquired from university, but also added some sweetener because now I challenge myself to try something new within the same environment.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think people need to be a lot more open-minded about their journey. If you're not
Yes.
open-minded, you're not gonna change, you're not gonna grow. So you'll be
Mm-hmm.
stuck up. You know that's not your life purpose. You've sat down and actually found what you need to do. But if you're not going to
Mm-hmm.
be open and be real with yourself, that you're not gonna make any changes. You're not gonna make any
Mm-hmm.
changes, and you just live in fear and live in fear every day of your life. There's a story
Mm-hmm.
that I had from John Ron. Is it John Ron? Oh, before I go to the story, we did send a wrong link to some of our friends accidentally. You need to go to the group Success Your Way movement on Facebook, or the page Life Lessons by Nicole Hanselman, or YouTube Life Lessons by Nicole Hanselman. If you got any link that has StreamYard on it was the wrong link sent to you. We're seeing people struggling and joining the studio. That's why I'm mentioning it. Sorry, sorry, guys. That's why you need to go. Okay, and everybody who's joining us, thank you. So there's a story that I had from Jim. How is his name pronounced? Jim Ron or something? It's very funny because of what you mentioned, and it brought me, the way we live in fear and stuff. So he was talking about a guy who went to Vegas to play poker, but he didn't want to lose his money and he didn't want to spend his money. And we sat there, you know how beautiful it is, the lightings, everybody busy, money talking and stuff, the tables are busy and stuff. And he was sat there and he told himself that he's going to play the game, right? But he's going to play the game in his head. So every time people are playing, add up, he'll tell himself, I could have betted this much. So he bets in his head, yeah, and plays in his head. So this guy ended up losing anyway, because whether he wins or not, he's not gonna get that money, is it? So whether he was betting $10,000 and he was supposed to win $1 million, he's not going to get it. He's not put himself out there in the first place. So when you said that, it reminded me of that story, and I think we need to be open-minded and know that you have to be in that game for it to change for you. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to ask you, Melyn. How can somebody discover then their life purpose? What do you think are some of the things people should do to discover their life purpose?
Okay. So
Don't worry about the question. We'll come to it. A question from the audience. We'll come back to it. Hi, Lovin. Hi, Justin. Back to you, Melyn.
oh, sorry, what was the question again?
Oh, no.
How
What should somebody do to discover what their life purpose is? What are some of the things you advise people to do?
Okay, so so the things that can arouse you to do is that you have to explore your interests, right? You as a person, what you like. No, like I said, after at some point of life, there's normally a phase of self-discovery. But of course, people have different interests, yeah. So sometimes it's very important to explore these interests. Is it that you like singing? Is it like you like athletes? Is it that you like IT? Is it in terms of career? Is it like you like accounts? Do you want to make where you work a better place in terms of accounting or different things. So really, you have to really explore your interest, yeah, and try and see which is the best thing that you really like. When you're doing it, you actually find yourself enjoying it, yeah. There's normally a slogan that says, "Love what you do what you love." Love what you do what you love. What is it that you love to do? And what is it that when you do it, you love doing it? Yeah. So you really have to explore your interests. And then also the other thing is also have conversation with people. Mm. You see, sometimes people may tell you. I remember a friend in church was is always very good in welcoming people. So some of this feedback I would give him as like, yeah, whenever you're at the podium, you're very good at doing this. And because of that, I've seen him do more and more of welcoming of people. Sometimes people will tell you, I like how you sing. Then that is when you start even realizing that, oh, okay, so people actually know that I'm good at this. Then it means I need to start exploring. So that feedback is very important. Yeah. And then in conversations with new people, sometimes you get to understand and acquire knowledge from other people, and especially people that you consider mentors, people that you have a lot of respect for. If you see how they carry their lives, you see how they go about their businesses. It's something that motivates you or inspires you. Sometimes that is how you get your purpose or your inspiration from. Yeah. Sometimes you see maybe a friend has gone into flying up, being a pilot. I've seen people change careers along inspires you in one way or another. Yeah. And earlier on I talked about maybe sometimes you see there's something wrong that is happening that you wish you had it corrected, and on a social base, you start running campaigns to correct some of these things that you feel are not rightly done. So with that, and then in the process, you find a purpose to just have in this world and to make your society better. So most importantly, we've talked about the interests. Talk to people, let these people give you feedback about your own interests. Look at how you can help a society. Those are some of the ways you can actually identify really identify your purpose and inspire also other people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Melyn, I have a question. You talked about exploring, interests. So many people have very different interests, and some are really, really good at some stuff, yeah. But then not everyone has the confidence to let the world see what they are good at. Yeah, and such people really miss out on, getting to live their purpose fully. So, in your opinion, how would you then encourage somebody to just do what they're doing and also showcase it to the world so that, at least they are one, encouraged by those around them, to keep doing what they're doing. And then also number two, they get to know that indeed this is my life purpose. I mean, to the shy ones especially.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's very important as you're trying to discover yourself to know your personality. Are you an extrovert? Are you an introvert? Both people are equally very important. They're kind of jobs that you can find that an introvert does them better than an extrovert. For instance, an extrovert would be very good at marketing and sales. It's about talking with people, it's about interacting with people. And then introverts mostly will find comfort in doing jobs like accounting, where you don't have to interact with people, you're just there with your books. But then again, when discovering your self purpose, it's very important to have self-confidence, right? But then you've talked about people who are shy. Now, what these kind of people can do, you don't necessarily have to start big. You can start small. You can start small with your smaller circles as you grow bigger. Things like public speaking is not something that people can easily do. In fact, if you look at fears, what people fear most people fear public speaking. And then if it's about big crowds, why don't you then start with even smaller crowds at home? Why don't you try and get you start reading storybooks for your family, tell them a story, organize for a movie, do a skit, sing for your family, it starts small. this family will start encouraging you and say, oh, wow, you have the talent. Why don't you go bigger? Then, you make those baby steps. You don't necessarily have to go big with your purpose, yeah? And even the society that you want to impact, you can start with your neighborhood, right? Because if maybe you wanted to do politics or maybe some a rally or those hackizet, you start with small society. You start with your neighbors, then your estate, then So it's a journey. Let me tell you, there's somewhere I read is that even success itself is not a destination. Success is a journey. Nobody can tell you, yes, that I am successful. Everything is a journey. There's always a learning point for
a journey. Everything needs you to start small, start somewhere. In fact, starting big sometimes is not even good. You don't value them as much as the baby steps you took.
Yes. So now, then, to answer your question in a different way, Yvette, is that let's look at, because it boils down to personal development, starting small and going bigger, So imagine Kipchoge, who is the best runner in Kenya. Everybody can run, right? But what makes the difference between me, who is an ordinary runner, to the professional athletes is the practice they put. But if you have the passion and you've already identified the purpose, that your meaning of life, and if you have the purpose, you always have to put it into practice. You always have to put it into practice, right? Think about a brain as a big muscle, as a very big muscle, because every day, even the runners, they train to build up the muscle. Even the musician, before going out a show, they sing to perfect skills, right? Even us, sometimes, you have to go back to school, especially with the IT. This is very mandatory because, like I said, the environment is very dynamic. So you as an IT, the dynamic, and so you have to go back to school and do what? And get some more certifications. Nobody has the highest confidence level. So to build this confidence level is that you always have to practice, get certifications, get new papers, do something that will improve that knowledge that you have, that interest that you have, that talent that you have, the capabilities that you have. Always find a way of improving your talent. Like I said, is not very easy. Sometimes even myself, I used to struggle with it. And you start small. I started even with small children in church. You jump, you sing, and you realize, oh, okay, this is going well. Then you progress to the youth. Then you progress now to the bigger audience. It's not easy, but you always have to challenge yourself that every time that I do it, I have to do it better than the previous time.
Nice. Yeah. We have a question from the audience. Hello, ladies. Should one take up a job because of the salary? Okay. Wow. That is interesting, because we are going to ask whether we should follow life purpose or should we follow the money? Because we want to make a living now. We want the food now. We want a roof over our head now. So when you tell somebody about and what am I going to eat? Because that's how we perceive things. So this is an interesting question.
Yeah, money is money. Let me tell you something. Money is not everything. Money is not everything. When you're talking about purpose, we're talking about talents, our capabilities, our potential. Yeah, and sometimes it's more important to do what you love than to do what you don't love and earn a lot of money in it. Because if you do not love it, it will stress you out. It will burn you out. You'll always be complaining about that job, right? But if you do what you love and you love what you do, it means you're exercising your potential, you're exercising your capabilities. Maybe in that job, they're not paying well. But if you do your best and become the better person, you can easily be, what do you say? You can easily be recommended to a different job. You understand? Yeah. I remember giving back my personal example is that I told you I've shifted within the organization in different departments. Yeah. And at some point, they would have to come and coach me and say, we've heard about your capabilities. We're impressed by it, especially my current company. Yeah, I didn't apply for the job. They called me. They said that we love your capabilities. We've heard about how you conduct your business with integrity, with discipline, and we'd want to hire you. Yeah. So it's not what I initially studied for, but it's something that I really loved. And along the way, somebody actually noticed the things that I do. You know, so it's not always about money. Let money, and as much as it's very important, as long as it's
Yeah.
comfortable and everything. And
Apparently,
remember,
people with
remember,
money who are just poor.
yes, and remember, you're not just doing it for the employment. Cindy, you're not just doing it for the employment. Remember, it's a skill that you're learning during that employment. But out of that employment, you can also be an entrepreneur. I can tell you for a fact, the sales skills that I've learned in my employment has really made me
Okay. What's that? The network?
boss and sorry, it's I'm using my mobile phone. So, like I was saying, the experience that I've had in the sales in doing technical sales has given me so much more because it means I did not have to confine myself in technical product as well. Even out of my employment, the other things that I do that requires me to interact with people, requires me to negotiate, requires me to make a decision, requires me to give them a reason of why to take the product. Side hustles. Yeah. So whatever skill that you have, whatever capability that you have to build on that because even after your employment, after your retirement, those are things that you're going to build on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to add, Melyn, to what you've said about it's not always about the money. Yeah, you could be in a job where you're earning a lot of money, but you're not happy. You're not
Absolutely.
because you're not happy. You're not giving your best. So you go to bed
Yeah.
every day stressed, and you wake
And
up
you're,
stressed.
and
So
you're
it becomes
struggling.
even an issue to your own personal, health, your mental health. You go to work, you're
Yeah.
unmotivated,
Yeah.
Yeah, so depends on where you are at in life. Whatever opportunity comes your way, you might be needing the money, yes, take it, yeah, but also don't. My feeling is don't also forget to explore your passions, yeah, because it's these
Yeah.
passions that lead to your purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, my personal opinion is that we are here for a reason. We are all put here with our talents, our reason, our uniqueness. We are supposed to serve something higher, higher power, higher being, and that's what keeps on driving us, making us question ourselves a lot of the time. That's why, whether you are a believer or not, there's some nudge that you feel that there's something above me, there's something more powerful than me. You will keep on having that feeling. So for you to enjoy life and to live a healthy and happy life, fulfilled life, is living that purpose, your purpose in life. From whatever corner of the world, it doesn't have to be big. Whatever you do it with joy and you'll be fulfilled. So you can have that day job that's just paying the bills for now, whatever it is, it's not bringing enough, that's fine. But when you come back home and do that little bit, what you're meant to do, if it's helping the community, you feel so nice. You forget about everything else. You feel so nice. And that raises your energy and your vibration, and it will make you even better at everything else you do. It's already put you in a really good place, hence the need to find that purpose and go for it. Yeah, and who knows? Sometimes it does pay the bills. A lot of the time, it does end up paying the bills too. So, yeah, I do agree. It's not all about money. There are people with lots of money and they're poor. So you have to know why you're seeking that money, why you're seeking everything. But if you're living your purpose, everything falls in place. Yeah, we did mention on Monday that it's like a compass, having a compass showing you the direction. That is, every time you try to go this one, you remember, no, this is my job, this is my life mission. And it's so fulfilling and nice. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. We did have more questions for you, didn't we? Anybody who's joining us now, say hello to us. Tell us where you're joining from. If you have any questions, do ask. We did cover a lot of on Monday, so Melyn today is just going a little bit deeper. I hope you didn't miss the Monday one. If you did, you might want to watch that. We will do bits and bobs of the recap from Monday. Okay, Melyn. So, uh, I think you've answered this in a way. How we can? Oh, okay. You are passionate about personal development and goals and stuff. So, do you want to talk about that? Um,
Okay. So yeah, personal development is very important as we go through our careers and everything. But something else that I really wanted to add on identifying and finding our own purpose is that
okay.
we really have to be ready for challenges and success, right? Um,
Okay.
sometimes is that you've really identified that this is my purpose, but are you ready for the opportunities and the challenges that it comes with it? You know, sometimes the opportunities are so many, it's mind blowing. And sometimes the challenges can be so
Mm-hmm.
strenuous that you feel like you want to give up, but you still feel that this is the thing that you really want. Yeah. So the most important thing is always to have self confidence that, yes, this is my purpose. This is my journey.
Mm,
This is what I'm forced to do. This is what I'm
mm,
passionate of doing it. So have the self confidence that, yes, in as much as it is hard, in as much as it's easy, I really have to do it because I feel this is what I'm called to do. Then the
yeah.
other thing, you have to have the self resilience. Yeah, always know that the buck stops at
Yeah.
you. Mhm.
Yeah.
Imagine
Okay. Network
imagine
problem.
in a society you feeling that I need to stand up, I need to stand. Sorry, I need to stand up for people. And of course, it means the buck stops at you. Everybody looks at you. The image that you put across really matters. Are you in control? Are you showing leadership?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're this person who is driving this mission or a purpose or uh, an objective somewhere, what do you want? What do you want these people to see? You want them to see somebody of high integrity. You want them to see somebody of honesty. You want to see
Yeah.
somebody who earn our respect. It is very
Mm,
important. And then in
yeah.
this journey, you have to be very self-disciplined, right? You
Yeah.
have to be disciplined. Is that, and you focus on the vision. If you set to
Yeah.
do this, or even on an individual basis, if I've said maybe I want to do this career, you have to be very disciplined in it, in the sense that you have to do your best, you have to set your goals, you have to
Mm,
see that you are achieving those goals. If probably in your growth plan you've stated that maybe in 3 years, 5 years, I need to be a manager. But so what is it that entails for you to be that person? You don't just wake up in the morning and somebody says, "Hey, can you be our manager?" It means there's a lot of effort that you have to put in that, right? You have to exercise. Like I said, you have to exercise your mind like it's a muscle. Yeah. So that
Mm.
whatever your head thinks, your heart feels.
yeah.
You get that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything to help, you have to love what you do. Yeah. And you also have to also identify the power of extraordinary. As you're realizing this purpose, how different am I from whatever other people are doing? And especially
Mm,
this goes line in line with entrepreneurs or even at our workplace. Yeah, because the set of rules have been set, your responsibilities are set, your duties are set. But how special am I from other people? How am I going to do this job? How it's been done?
mm,
So really, you really have to come. And the other thing that I also wanted to speak about is that society, I don't know, the one echoing, or is it somebody do? I'm
uh,
echoing. Is it?
I'm not so sure where that's coming from. Let me try. Oh, it doesn't seem
Okay.
to be coming.
I think it's from your side, Nicole.
So, let me try. I'm not so sure.
You know what? I think I'm going to mute, yeah, so that Melyn talks. Let me just
Okay.
mute
I don't
myself.
really think it was you anyway. I, oh,
Sorry about.
yeah,
Am I
that's
now?
okay.
Okay. So
I'm not
yeah.
sure what Mhm.
So I was talking about the power is extraordinary. Always learn to be better than normal. And
Mm.
then that I would also want about is societies. So many times we tend to think that the society demands so much from us, but it's the other way around,
Mm.
right? You have to demand it yourself internally. Yeah. If you want to be the best that you can be, you have to demand it yourself. Society does not know that you can be the best singer or a superstar. Society, they cannot envision that unless you first start it yourself. Explore your interest, learn your purpose. Once you've identified what your purpose is, then explore, strengthen it, learn as much as possible, add the knowledge, read books, join the webinars, read journals that can help you enhance that knowledge, right? So at the end of the day, society will be there to give you feedback and encourage you. But who does the first step? It is you as an individual. So that's why I say you have to demand it yourself. Let the society see what you can do. Then the society, what will do is to encourage you or criticize you positively for you to grow a better person.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like it. I like that. If you want to be
I
extraordinary, you have to do the extraordinary thing. Oh, the echo is from me. Okay, I don't know where I'm getting the echo from.
Sorry
So
about
yeah,
that.
so,
yeah, we
so
want extraordinary results. We have to be extraordinary ourselves. And then I like that you said about integrity and stuff, being respectful, how you want people to see you, how you want to come across. It's very, very important about that. We also talked about it on Monday briefly when we are talking. We used a nice story, a story that is becoming really popular now, of a lady who, as a little girl, as she was growing up, and her dad used to sell chicken, and a customer came to buy chicken, and the dad took the chicken and put it on the scale, and was like, it's a pound 75. And the customer was like, oh, do you have another one? And then he didn't have another one. He went back, brought the same chicken out and weighed it, and he said something like it's a 2 pound 15, because the lady wanted a bigger one. Do you have a larger one? And so he brought it the same chicken out and weighed it again and get a different price, thinking that the lady just wanted a larger one. But the lady was like, can I have both of them? He didn't have two chicken. Yeah, he didn't have it. So, and because she was a little girl, she was so confused. She ran out of the place. So we don't know what the dad did, but it's quite embarrassing, and it just shows that integrity is really important. And integrity is what you do, whether people are there or not. You don't have to do it because just you'll be caught or you'll be seen. It's something you have to choose every single day.
So
Mhm.
so like when you talk about purpose, and the is what you wake up in the morning for. Yeah, what is it that you want to do? As a parent, most of the time is that your purpose is to see your children grow, have good health, have a better future. Sometimes we ask ourselves, what do you wake up in the morning? It's to see your children having a good future. So in this way, but how am I going to enable myself to do this? Is that I have to do something that is very interesting for me to do and earn some living. And in this earning living, what do? We develop ourselves, to be better people in organization, to outshine, not to really outshine other people, but to be extraordinary in the things that we do. And the integrity, honesty is things that people observe. Let me tell you, Nicole, most of the time we do interviews, the more critical thing that we normally observe is the attitude and personal values. Before any other thing, attitude and these personal values that you've talked about, the integrity, honesty, and leadership and things like that. Yeah. Why do I say attitude and personal values? Is that imagine out of 20 people, all these people can do the similar job that you can do. Everybody can do this job. But what makes you stand out from the other people is that you have the right attitude for for this job. And of course, if it's a purpose, if it's something that you've been called to do, it's something that will do it with a passion. And yes, and attitude level show that this is something that you really, really love doing and something that you really want to do, you know. It's something that you really want to do. So these personal values are very important. And they're silent. Normally, even when you sit at an interview table, they're very silent, but people can actually see how you express yourself, how passionate you're answering your question, how passionate you are about this job. Would you do anything to get this job? And these are very critical things that people should be able to do. And it will also show, even in terms of career, even your CV, how much have you done, how much knowledge have you gathered, just apart from your ordinary degree and the certifications and diplomas, but how much more have you done to be able to be better than the rest of the people. So all this can be seen even in your own CV. That this person is not just about being an IT person or being an engineer, but it's more about being the best that he can be, because he's gone back to school, he's gotten more certifications, he's done, even your social work, those are things that we normally list in our CVs, that I do social work on a weekly basis. I empower people during my free time. I do this and this and this. So those are the kind of attitudes even employer most of the time like seeing. And those are things that makes you stand out from the other people. Nicole, I think you've muted it.
I'll keep on muting us because there's a lot of feedback coming from inside. In fact, do you have anything to add? I'll mute us as you.
Yeah, so as Melyn was talking, I recalled, what we talked about on Monday about the external orientation and the internal orientation. And if you focus from just what she said about, your being disciplined, your personal values, your attitude, all that has to do with your internal orientation, things that you have control over, such that even if then the external factors are working against you, inside you know that you can always achieve that which you said to do. Yeah, you can do it, you can find your purpose, because inside you are at a good place.
Absolutely. It's very true. Most of us live our lives depending on the think what our parents are saying. Oh, you have to wake up and go to work. That's why your spouses have to wake you up in the morning to remind you to go to work. Your parents have to remind you to go to school. And, we're just depending on those external factors. We've not known how to internalize, get the energy from within us, the inspiration, the self-motivation from within us. For us to do that, that's why today we're talking about the life purpose. We've dedicated this week to life purpose. Once you figure out your life purpose, you've sat down and know what you're passionate at. You've sat down and know what you're good at and what the world is. I'll tell you, even if you end up having the same profession as Yvette or the same profession as Melyn, you can't be the same. You bring uniqueness, you bring you, something the world hasn't got. Last week, I think we had Kate here, and Kate taught us something really profound. And I was like, I will copy that. And I already am using it. Nobody is you, and that's your power. Nobody is you, and that's your power. I knew from there, she's just nailed it. Everybody wants to be a life coach. They can't be a life coach. Or they will be a life coach. They will be different from you. They'll have a different niche. They'll attract a different audience. They'll be different from you. They're not competing with you. No. Because they're bringing them. You're sticking to your lane. They're bringing their own uniqueness. Never worry about that. You will have that lady who's selling tomato there. You found that your passion is people having good meals on their table. You want to sell the best tomatoes ever produced. You bring your tomatoes there. The passion you bring with it, the attitude you bring with it, the respect you brought, that thing that next person hasn't got is what will set you apart. And people buy from people. People buy from people they trust. People buy from people. It's not about the product sometimes. It's you brought you out. And that's the beauty of it. That's why we are learning about life purpose. Yeah. Melyn,
You're on mute. You're on mute, Nicole.
I keep on muting myself so that there's no echo. Then I forget to put back on. And sometimes I want to mute you and sometimes I want to mute Yvette. I end up muting you. So yeah, you wanted to touch about growth again. You've spoken a little bit about growth, but is there anything you want to expound about growth? We still got some time as we wait for the audience to ask any questions, contribute. I'm enjoying this. I really like us to learn about our life purpose. You'll find that you'll be waking up in the morning. No need to be waking up. Even you might not even need your alarm on. You'll be running around the block, and people are wondering, how can they wake up at 5 o'clock to just run? They won't get it. You will get it because you know you only need to be extraordinary to get extraordinary results. Ordinary doesn't produce extraordinary. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. So, Melyn, back to you on growth, please. And
Yeah.
you,
Yeah, so while we've talked about developing, being, development of your talents and your potential, development is about improving your self-awareness, extending your knowledge, and, improving your life potential, and also improving your things like health, and also improving things like self-awareness and spiritual growth. Now, with personal growth being the tool to get to where you want to be, personal development being a tool of going to where you want to be. Personal growth is the benefit of your action. Remember, personal development is trying to find ways on how you can improve or become better person, right? That would mean maybe joining such kind of webinars, listening to other people, identifying self-awareness and all that. Yeah. But the goals now is actually seeing the benefit of it. You've done what it is that can make you better, but now what is the goal? What is the benefit that you're getting out of this? So some of the achievements that you can actually see is when now probably, like we said, somebody being shy, talking in front of people, and now probably has implied some of the tools that we discussed, just starting small with small groups and expanding. But then the result will be increasing your confidence level. Every time when you focus on your personal development, at the end of the day will have increased your confidence level. So maybe you'll be coming from small groups of discussion and going to larger groups, or maybe targeting smaller jobs and encouraging yourself, or taking the risk of taking bigger jobs that you feel you're passionate about. Yeah. And so the results also would be improving relationship or even self-love. Yeah, because sometimes you lack that self-confidence. Your life is a misery because you don't love what you do. You don't do what you love, and so sometimes you empathize with yourself. But then when you develop yourself, work hard and put that extra energy into making yourself a better person, the self-love also increases. And this, when the self-love increases, is where your self-confidence also increases. Your motivation will clearly be shown that this person is highly motivated because you're loving what you're doing. Yeah. Even your personal care, sometimes you probably don't groom so well. Yeah. When you work for a job that does not really excite you, you can even go to work with slippers. But when you're highly motivated, your personal care, sometimes you have a touch of makeup, sometimes you have a beautiful dress going to work. It shows from the efforts that you've put in doing developing yourself. Yeah.
that is really true.
Even the willpower of doing something. If you're given a task, you're so motivated, you're hyped of doing that job. Sorry, Yvette, I cut you short.
Yeah, that's really true. You've seen that there was a guy who used to sell eggs somewhere in Nairobi in different colored suits. Yeah, you can see he's enjoying his job. He doesn't care what he's selling. It's all about him being happy with himself. So he come with all these red suits, all matched, and I think that is really beautiful.
Yeah. So even your mental clarity, your mental health, it can easily show when you're really motivated and really. You need to unmute. You need to mute. Hello?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, we got the echo back again. Somebody stole it from you or Bashmale. Lots of love. Can you tell who it is? We don't know who it is. Sometimes we don't know who it is. Is that, do you have any?
Please repeat what you just said.
Have you got anything to add on in that regards?
Oh my God. You know, I just proceed. I didn't hear what you said, but please proceed, Nicole.
Oh, sorry. I was saying, do you have anything else to add when it comes to, what Melyn was saying about how your personality and whatever you are comes out shows in whatever you're doing. Like the way she's saying, if you're not passionate, you end up going to work even with papers and stuff.
Self-love, self-worth, and all those are results of personal development. Yeah. So where you can attend, these kinds of forums and just develop yourself, have a very deep sense of self-love, yeah. Such that you're also doing the stuff that you like, yeah. You radiate, you emanate some kind of some spark, and yeah, and it can be seen in what you do, how you present yourself, because you're a happy person, yeah. And so yes, living your purpose, being at that place where you are at peace with who you are and what you're doing and the results of what you're doing, being at that place just makes you glow as a person. Yeah.
Absolutely. Melyn, do you have anything else you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. Yeah. So also to add on personal development is that we should really learn to overcome our fears. Fear is the biggest thing that is the biggest obstacle that we normally face in life, right? Sometimes you already know that I can do this, but it's the fear of doing it or even starting that becomes our obstacle, right? So it is very important as you're trying to overcome these fears, always try and see if you can get some mentors or somebody who can help you overcome it. Most importantly are people you work closely with. It could be your manager, if you're blessed to have a really good manager, and this manager is able to actually see some of your strength, potential, and some of these talents. um, these are people who can nurture you, nurture you, give you opportunities to expose your these talents that you have. Or even sometimes you could also have just a mentor. This mentor is somebody that you really aspire to be, or there's something that you really love about this person that you wish one day or one time to be, or even to just to just pick a little bit of traits here and there to add into your own lifestyle. Then the other thing that I'll really emphasize is that every other time we have to be ready to listen or to read. It's very important, especially to listen, because every time you listen, you always learn something new. Personally, I'm not very big fan of probably like reading a novel or anything, but for me, it's very important that I listen to motivational speakers like Dr. Monre, T.G. Jakes, Warren Buffett. These are people that I really love to listen because they've been successful. They've been through a certain journey, probably not the ultimately being successful, but they've been through a certain journey. They've experienced certain challenges, and through this, they're able to impact some positivity in you. Yeah, so most of the time, reading their books, listening to what they have, these materials are easily available on YouTube. Any person can take some time, even you can say 20 minutes per week. Some of these videos are just 30 minutes, 45 minutes. As you're driving to work, or you're having a moment of yourself, just listen to it. You might come out having learned one thing or the other. Then the other thing about life is you always have to learn something new. Yeah. And through probably these books, you'll always have to learn something new that you didn't know yesterday. Always become a better person the next day and the next month and the next year. You cannot be the same person last year and this year. With that, I would actually want to tell you a narrative that I had once in my life. I had this friend who was a manager, was actually a director of a company, was a very good friend of mine. And every time we'd visit Mombasa, because this is where I reside in Kenya, every time we visit Mombasa, I would complain over the same thing. The two things I'd really complain about was my job and my relationship. Yeah, I'll tell him, I'm not satisfied about my job. I've been trying to get a new job and I'm not getting a new one. I have this boyfriend, things are not moving. it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one day he challenged me and told me, Melyn, for the last 5 times I've been here, you've been talking about, and I was complaining, but I didn't know I was actually complaining. Sometimes when you share your life experiences with a friend, but then he one day told me, Melyn, the few times I've seen you, you've actually complained about your job, you've complained about your relationship, and these are things you've complained about, because he was listening to me when I'm doing all these complaints. So he told me, I know you've complained about this and this and this and this, but the painful thing is that anytime I've come, there's nothing new you've done. It's the same thing that you've complained about, and there's absolutely nothing new that you've done. So what this thing really challenged me is that immediately he told me that, I broke down and I realized, yes, in as much as I am so uncomfortable in my job, I am so uncomfortable in my relationship, I have myself to blame, because there's nothing I've really done to improve myself. And you can imagine, after that discussion, in 6 months' time, I already had a new job, and I left the relationship that I was really struggling with, and I became a better person. And in fact, I got a very exciting.
I like that.
Yeah, I got a very exciting job, and I wish in my life, I wish I had known him earlier on to spell out the things that I was doing wrong. So having a mentor is very, very important. Having the person that you can confide in is very, very important. Somebody who sees the good in you. Yeah. Along your life, you'll actually identify one person or two who will give you positive feedback on how to do things better, who will give you constructive feedback of how to do something better. So another thing is that it's also to just observe other people. These people that you really love. Observe how they live their lives, how they do their things. And lastly would be maybe just to network. Whenever people are called to view webinars, go for a social function, maybe there's a conference that is happening, don't be too busy for such kind of events. There's always something new that you always learn out of that. Yeah. And as a result, there's so many good things that will come out of it, because you'll have a clear goal setting of your life, of your career life and your personal life, because as you interact with these people, as they mentor you, as you're learning new things, everything becomes very clear, right? They become very clear. Then and as a result, you make better decisions than the decisions that you made before. You become self-aware of who you are. Your motivation increase. Your mental clarity becomes. Your mental become very clear of what you want to do in your life.
Wow. You've really said it all. Yvette, have you got anything?
She said it all, man. And let's learn to just answer to our calling. Yeah, we answer to our calling. We feel that we're called to do this now. Answer to it. You just never know where that path might lead you to. I love that. Yeah, networking, very important. Talking to people, talking to mentors, we need to normalize that. I mean, if Melyn didn't talk to her manager friend, then she'd not have known that she was the one holding herself back. She would not have known. All it took was opening up to somebody, and that was pointed out to her. And within 6 months, she was at a totally different place. So yes, it's really, really important for us to just have someone we trust, someone with our best interests at heart to talk to.
Yeah, thank you so much. If some people have just joined us, you've missed a lot. You've really missed a lot. We are trying to find life purpose so that we live happier, healthier lives, so that we wake up in the morning and we do whatever it is we do. Whether everybody else seems to be doing it, you'll bring your uniqueness and you'll be happy doing it. You'll wake up in the morning and chemsha your gideri and put it out there and sell your gideri happily, because you love gideri, you love making gideri anyway. It doesn't bother you. The next person's githeri won't even taste like yours because you've made yours with love. Your customers feel it, know it. They can tell your passion. They can tell that you're not going. They're not coming to you and you're going to offload your sorrows to them. Oh, leo siku nini nini nini. No, you're not bothered about that. You're just happy. Hii githeri yangu nini. You know your githeri is unique. You know you've made it with love. You're happy with yourself. So yeah, we are talking about finding life purpose. We said we find things that we love, we're passionate about, combine it with things that God gave you, a natural gift, your talent. What is it that your friends told you have said about you that you can do, you do naturally, you do happily? Have you listened to those positive feedback from your friends and stuff? Have you got a mentor who tells you all those things and remind you good things about you? Yeah. And then what is it that humanity needs? What is it that's out there that people need that you can bring out and live your life of purpose? When you give, there's power in giving. When you give, why do you need to know what humanity needs? So that you're always a giver. Nothing wrong with receiving. It's beautiful to receive too. But you'll be waking up in the morning and you just want to give. You know you've made your githeri na ikibaki, unajua that neighbor flani who hawana food, you know that it won't be wasted. You'll make that githeri happily, knowing that whatever happens, it will benefit somebody somewhere. Because you want to give, you want to help the humanity. That's the whole point for today. So as we wind up, I don't know whether Melyn still got something to say or she's ready to sing for us. Hi,
Like what
Coco.
you say.
Hi, Mercy. Hi, Aisha. Hi, everybody. Justus, those Kahindi, Hillary is here with us. Karibuni nyinyi wote. We want Melyn, you got something? Sorry.
No, I was just saying I loved what you say is that you always have to learn how to give. It's very, because remember, they say you receive what you give out, right? This purpose that we've been talking about, seek thee and it shall be given unto you. Sindio? Yeah.
It will be pressed down.
Yes,
To be
yes.
shaken together and it will overflow.
You cannot expect when you cannot give out. And giving out, we're not talking about money. We're talking about even just giving love. Just showing society love that yes, it is hard to make it out of this earth, but you see, we love each other in the sense that we live in a good environment, or even give out your ideas that you have. Let me tell you another story. I remember when I was still starting my employment, and most of the time I would spend so much time with people who are older, who are probably successful than I was before. But you see, I would learn a lot from them. We go out, maybe even looking for shambas and all that. But you see, with I learned so much that at some point I just started giving this information because I knew the people who were looking for these things, and I had the information, though I didn't have the money, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll really look for people like, yeah, I've seen this opportunity, even business opportunity. I'll really give it to people. I've seen this business opportunity. Money, why don't you try it without expecting anything in return? But look what God has done. God has also blessed me in a different way. Yeah. Not necessarily financial, but He has blessed me in a different way where in terms of humanitarian, we keep in church. We have that we are supporting as Serenity Church. There's so many things that, and you never run out. Let me tell you, you never run out. You never run out.
I can't argue with that, my darling. I can't argue with that.
There's no day will run out of food in your house just because you gave somebody who was more needy than you.
Yeah.
It is very important.
Yeah. Prepare your voice and sing for us while I tell people a story that we shared on Monday here. Clear your voice, make it ready. You're singing for us. I told you you'll have to sing. God gave you that voice so that you sing for me. That's the whole reason it was given to you. So yeah, this is also a very common story, and I've shared it on Monday, and I'm sharing it again. I'll add Yvette. Okay. The story is again chicken story. I'm so full of chicken stories this week. It's a repetition. I'm just recapping because I'm seeing a lot of us have joined us today and they didn't manage to join us on Monday. So there's this story about this lady who was married and she used to make the most amazing chicken for the husband. The husband absolutely adored how she made the chicken. But then the chicken used to be really small, just a small portion of it, just the main part. And the husband couldn't understand, why can't you just make the whole thing with all the pieces in it? It's amazing to waste. But she never knew why she would cut all that. And she was like, that's how my mom taught me how to make it. And they always knew, okay, that's how the mom taught her. There was no particular reason. So one day they went visiting the parents, and they thought to ask, Mom, how come you taught me how to make this beautiful chicken? You cook the best chicken ever, but why do you remove all this part? Why doesn't it have all this part? And mom was like, I really don't know. I'm not so sure. Let's ask your grandma, because grandma is the one who taught me how to make chicken like that. And they asked the grandma, and the grandma is the one who told them that I only take off all those pieces because my pot used to be small. I couldn't put all that chicken in my pot. So I used to cut off all these sides to fit my pot. And from that story, I always remind myself that story, that don't just go doing things because everybody else is doing it. Enjoy being unique. Know why you're doing things. Be open-minded to learning new ways of doing things. Yes, we don't fix things that are not broken, but if you can be a better version of yourself, why not? Why not? I don't see why not. Okay, Melyn, are you ready to sing for us? Oh, I love it. It makes me so happy.
Okay.
And those they should buy from you in Aduka. Those in Mombasa, if you need nyama, you find Melyn. If you have 18 needs, go to Melyn. Yeah. But you'll tell us more about how to find you. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, just to mention that I do a lot of things. I'm a junk of all trades, anything that brings money. My passion basically is into sales. That is what I've realized I'm really good at. And not just selling nyama and internet, it's also selling ideas to people, to friends. So for some reason, I'll just look for something that will just revolve around that place, because anything that comes my way that I can sell, I do it. And I do it with a lot of passion. And I'll always make sure that everything that touches my hand, I give it my best and, just be the person that I am. Okay, so I'll sing a Christian song. It's a short chorus, Uwezo wa Mungu. I hope that is okay. Yeah. Uwezo, uwezo, uwezo wa Mungu, uwezo usioanguka. Uwezo, uwezo, uwezo wa Mungu, uwezo usioangusha. Ndiye Alfa Omega, wa kwanza na wa mwisho, ndiye Mwokozi wa maisha yangu. Uwezo, uwezo, uwezo wa Mungu, uwezo usioangusha. Thank you.
Okay.
Ooh, that was nice.
It's Sophie.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Nicole and Yvette for having me. This was a very good experience. Like we say, we are analyzing our purpose and developing our skills. It was a very good time to spend with you and discuss so many things that can have an impact in our lives. I really appreciate for welcoming me as your guest today.
We love you, Melyn.
I love you too.
Thanks so much, Melyn, for coming. You've really inspired us so much. And by the way, it shows when you speak, when you share, it just shows that you're living your purpose. Yeah.
May
Yeah.
God continue blessing you. May you overflow. May you overflow. May you overflow. Ah, Netflix are waiting for songs. I know. God should have given me her voice. I love it.
I'm sure you have the purpose, or you can also
I
find with
do. I
the
do.
environment.
Mine is perfect. Why not is my new word in my vocabulary. I know. I like that. Why not?
Why
Why
not?
not? Yeah. Why not? No harm. You learn from mistakes. We've spoken about this
Yeah.
lots and lots. We're not going to repeat. We have to make mistakes. And then
Mm.
you know, when you're seeking your purpose, you might start going the wrong way, but it's fine. Or you might start it and realize that maybe it's changed because it changes with
Mhm.
experiences, with new knowledge, with age,
Mm.
whatever it is, with family commitment, it changes. Maybe you used to
Yeah.
go out and give leaflets, spreading whatever,
Mhm.
and now you
Mhm.
can't do that. Something happened to your body. You know, you can't do that
Mm.
anymore. It changes, just change. Don't be
Yeah.
automatic to all these change, and you'll not regret. You'll not
Mm.
regret. You will reduce mental illness.
Yeah.
You really,
Things
really.
change. Things do change. Circumstances makes things
Mm.
change. Sometimes you might have set your goal that I want to achieve this at this particular time, but then you encounter a circumstances that was very unpredictable. So
Yeah.
everything that you are doing have to change. But again, like we said earlier on, as we work through our purpose, we also have to be prepared of the challenges that will come
Be
along
prepared.
our way,
Be
and the
gentle
Mhm.
with
opportunities,
yourself.
and the
Be
opportunities as
forgiving.
well. Nobody said it's going to be a smooth sailing journey. Yeah. In fact, they say I don't know, it's in Kiswahili, ile embe ambayo imeiva vizuri ndio inapigwa jiwe sana, si ndio?
Mm.
Do you understand that? Yeah, a
Yes.
mango that is ripe, the best mango out of on the tree is the one that people throw a lot of
Ndio
stones to.
itapurwa sana.
Yes,
Yeah.
nitapurwa sana. So, yeah, so along the way, if you're doing something good and you're succeeding and your life is becoming better, so many stones will be thrown across your way. The
What?
only, yes, so
Powerful.
if
Mm.
you eventually achieve, that is the best thing. And there's no success without challenge. The best thing that will come out of it is when you've actually experienced the hardship in it. So when you're succeeding, you actually know this is the best that it can be, or it can even be better than what it is right now. Because I've already seen the worst. What much more can I see from what I've already experienced in the past? Yeah.
So the
But if you have
science actually, the stone side means you're actually doing something good.
yeah,
You're doing something
wanasema
right.
even in relationship, if you're not arguing, if you're not arguing, somebody is lying to the other person. Yeah. Because you have to argue, you have to know how bad can it be for you to make a decision to be with that person, right, Yvette?
Coco Glam. Coco, I've already used your line. I told you I'll use it. Nobody is like you, and that's your power. She's the one who was on here with us and taught us that. Well, thank
Okay.
you, everybody. I think we can end this. We can call it a wrap. It's been a beautiful session. Thank you again, Melyn, for being here. We really appreciate you and love you. Yeah, we've learned a lot. Bless you. I think we can happily say that today we've learned something new. So we are happy with ourselves today, too. So, yeah, thank you, Melyn.
Asante sana.
Asante, Yvette.
Thanks, Melyn. Asante sana for coming, and thanks guys for watching, and I hope that we've all been inspired. I hope we've all learned something. I have learned so much. Yes, and now it's time to go and apply all that we've learned. Thank you, Melyn. Thanks, Nicole.
Asante sana.
Everybody, thank you, Yvette. Thank you
Okay.
for joining us. I enjoyed this. Join us again next week, Monday, and next week, Thursday. Those are the days we have our lives. Otherwise, Kwairini, bye for now, and God bless you. Spread
Asante
love.
sana. God
We
bless
need-
Have a
you
good
too.
day.
Yeah, yeah, we need more love. They're the same. That's the only occupation that will never be filled. So go on and
Yes.
spread love. Bye, Kwairini.
Bye bye.